it's Jessie from Nigezza.co.uk, and thank you for joining me today. And today I'm going to bring you a nice little neutral card here. I've done a lot of pinks lately. I had a pink challenge, to cleanse myself of all that pinkness, which it's not me at all. I've gone the other way and I've used some neutrals here on a lovely little sort of shabby chic-ish sort of floral card that I was kind of going for the faded wallpaper sepia photo sort of look. Okay, so stay tuned and I'll show you how I made it. So to make this card I'm using some crumb cake, so usual folded in half, scored in half, and I've got a mat for the inside in Whisper White. I'm going to do a double mat on the front, so I've got a mat there in soft suede and then a smaller mat in Whisper White. All the measurements for my mats will be on my blog. They are my usual A6 card, and then the mats are cut at 1/4 inch shorter and thinner to give an 1/8 of an inch border all the way round. Okay, and I'm using my colour palette is Grey Granite, Crumb Cake, Early Espresso and Soft Suede, so completely cleansing myself of that pink incident of last week. So working in colours that I'm more happier with, and I'm using the Vibrant Vases, which is quite ironic really that it's called Vibrant and I'm using neutrals, but there we go. And I have already done a little bit of prep. I'm going to be doing an oval on the front of this, so I've used the layering ovals to cut my layer out there, but you're not going to actually see it. Okay, so I'm going to put those to one side, and it's these that we're going to do the stamping on. So I'm using this flower, this fill-in, and the vases, and they are already mounted. And I use, I've done it before, I don't think it's in this one, I think it's in my other vases set. No, I took it out. It's probably on my desk somewhere because I was doing it. But I punched out a template with the punch, so that I know where to set them, so that when I stamp them I can just punch them all in one go. Okay, so, oh, I've got a stamp. Did I put it away? Oh, I put it away. I need that stamp as well. And it's photopolymer, so I've got my very dirty stamp mat here. I do need another block. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this background, and I'm going to use Granite Grey. Was it Grey Granite? And I'm using the bit of the flower that you fill in, because I thought that that would make nice background. So I'm just going to randomly stamp this all over the card. Yeah, so that's the end of the Grey Granite, and I'm going to come in with Crumb Cake, and I'm going to use Crumb Cake to distress the ends. So I've got my sponge. I probably need to change my little cardstock there on the end. There we are, and that middle bit's going to get sort of filled. So that's that effect nice. And I'm going to keep the Crumb Cake out, because I'm going to do Crumb Cake Vases. So stamp them there. And then we're going to stamp this sort of there. But I wasn't going to do that in crumb cake. It's a good job I got another side doing that in early espresso. What a day. So let me punch that out actually, so that I know how much cardstock I've got left. Oh, I've done that too far over. There we go. I'm punching them all out so that I don't waste cards and then I keep them for another project. There we go. Right, so now I know how much space I've got there. And I'm going to get my oval. I'm going to use a stitched oval. I'm going to use the largest stitched oval because that nests nicely. So there we go. I've got enough room. So then we're going to stamp this flower about there. Lovely. So I'm going to go and cut that out and come back to you. There we go. So that is cut out nicely. And that's going to go on there with this layer behind, and I will distress the ends a little bit, but now we're just going to have to colour that in. I've got to decide which vase I'm going to use with it, whether I want to use that one or that one or that one. I quite like that one. I think I did that one in my practice one. And what I want to do is, you've got a little sort of shelf-like stamp in the set. So I wanted in the early espresso to do the sort of a shelf-like, which is why I needed to know which vase I'm using. I think I'm going with that one. Then the shelf's too low. We will go with this one. So we're going to go across there. So it's got a shelf to sit on. Okay. Now I'm going to colour the flowers in. Now there is a stamp that you can fill it in, but I wanted a slightly subtle effect on it. So I'm using the soft suede to colour the flowers, and I want a softer colour, so I'm using a little block there to take some of the ink up, and I'm going to do, although that I could have squished on the other side to be fair, and I'm going to take the little blender pen, because it gives you a bit of a subtler colour than if you were doing the marker, and that's what I want. I want it to be a bit more subtle, so it's like faded a bit really. Didn't want it to be too vibrant. The leaves I did in grey granite, which was the reason why I had the block. Now I remember. Now we just need to do a little bit of distressing around that. So I'm going to come back in with my crumb cake. way a minute. Nope, I'm going to stick up the vase. And a little tad on the neck of the vase. Oh, do you know, got no nails. And then that's going to go on there, and it's not exactly on top of the shelf, but I don't mind that. Okay, so now that's ready to stick together. So I'm going to stick this layer down. I haven't burnished this, I've just remembered. So we'll stick this down. Move that out of the way. So you can see how we get a nice 1/8 of an inch layer around my card. And then I've got some twine somewhere. Put it away. So I've got the braided linen twine, and I'm going to put that around this card. So just snip that off. I've got a roll of tear and tape somewhere. There we go. So decide where I want it. So this is going to go on the top, and I'm going to have that underneath it, so about there. So I'm just going to stick a bit of this on the back. If I can actually pick this up. This is my favourite colour palette, I think, and I'm really pleased that we've got the colours added into it with the Mossy Meadow and the Night of Navy and the Merry Merlot. I think they complement it really, really well. But this one is just totally, as I say, I'm going for like a sepia photo look. Hope that's straight enough. Okay, so let's glue this down. I'm going to take the backing off this. And then we'll stick that over down. I love how I've used all the sort of browns in the neutrals, and they just all go together so well. So I'm going to stick that on there. Might offside it because I've done a bow already. And can I find it now? Yeah, there it is. I was sort of playing with this, so I did a bow, and you can pull out this ribbon, and I think that'll look nice like that, off-centered. That was my ideas. And then there is room for a sentiment if you want one, but I've left this plain because sometimes you make a card and the occasion that you want it for, you can't think of straight away. Now I might just glue that flat because it's going to end up being too thick anyway, so I may as well stamp it up. Sort of lining it up with that there. I'll show you how I did this ribbon. So comes flat like that, do my ribbon, roll it round, give it a pull. Because I've trimmed it down, I probably haven't got enough. That's why I did it beforehand. Give it a pull. Blowing a gale out there, don't know if you heard that. Get it how you want it. And then you can just pull these apart. And you get pretty effects, a bit like the copper ribbon. But you can just pull it out. I quite like that. And then you can pull out these ends a bit as well. So I think that just adds to the shabby chicness of it, because it's kind of, looks like it's unravelling a bit. It's a bit old and tattered. That's what I like. Right, glue dot. Actually, I've got some. I should just whisper that. There we go. And then I might trim that a little tad. And then we just need to put this in the middle. And I'm going to do a little bit of stamping on that, I think. But I'm going to do it lighter. So, bit of crumb cake off and on. Really is faded there. Off. On. Espresso. Can you tell I'm making things up as I go along? Ooh, need me foam mat. There we go. Stick that in there. And crumb cake. We're just going to go around the ends. There we have it. So no sentiment, so it can be used for anything, or you could add a sentiment if you wanted to. I quite often send cards for no reason, and so sometimes a blank one is all that's required. So, hope you like that. Get rid of that muck now. That's my little shabby chic card to cleanse myself of all that pinkness. So hope you like that. All the details will be on my blog, nigezza.co.uk, and I will see you again soon.